up by Andre from three-quarters. And he hit it! He had his eyes on the prize and let it fly.
What's going on, Tanimals? It is another edition of the Tanndemonium Sports Show here on Vendetta Sports, the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network, streaming live exclusively on Twitch TV. Obviously, if you're watching us on here now, but that's all that might be checking us out over there on the YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. And with me, as always, my hetero life mate. I won't call him my sidekick, Jefferson Legal himself, a.k.a. Jackson Law. J Law, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, though. Work has really kicked my tail this week.
Yeah, man, I hear you. And here we are, a day and 3 hours late. I apologize for that.
Day late and a lot of dollars short.
Yeah, well, I'm always broke, so apologize for everyone that's used to checking us out on our normal time slot, which is 6:30 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. I had a prior commitment
Trey's
that here. Trey's here. Trey watches every show. Trey's been like a massive fan of this show since it started. But yeah, I had a prior book engagement that I had totally forgotten about. I was booked for this thing like 7-8 months in advance, and I totally forgot about it. So
happens. Yeah,
I appreciate you, Jackson, and you, Courtney, adjusting your schedules, as they say in France. Schedule.
Let me check my schedule.
But we've got a lot to dissect, a lot to talk about week 2 of the NFL. Man, our teams just got butt railed.
I don't want to talk about it.
You know what? In a lot of ways, I don't want to talk about it either, because it was a bad performance by both of our teams. It really, really was. And poor Tua and two teams that we each love with horrible offensive lines. Our starting quarterbacks are now hurt. Tua is out with broken ribs.
Fractured ribs.
Sorry, fracture is different than a break.
Screw Jesse Davis. Listen, I know you say both of our teams have bad offensive lines. Miami's is historically bad. You know what they're? Let me bring it up on my phone real quick, because I was taking a lot of notes today as my breaks at work, as I just demolished my mic. Good Lord, sorry for everyone that had to hear that.
I love it when you take notes.
Let me see if I can find it again. I sent it in the Slack too, but I want to say their pass block rating, I think it's like 38.6. Yeah, I'm going back through my messages. I may have passed through it, but I want to say, yeah, Miami's pass block rating, their offensive line, is 38.2. That is the worst in the NFL. The team that is 31st in the NFL, their pass block rating is 43.5.
Wow.
Courtney, it is terrible.
He stinks.
Terrible. And they stink. Yes. I mean, use every phrase that you can imagine about this Dolphins offensive line. They, against the Bills, who they don't have a terrible pass rush, but it's not the best. 28 pressures on the game. 28. Tua got sacked. He got hit on every pass play on the first possession that Miami had. And it was a quick, they were out after 4 downs, or it was like the second series maybe. I can't remember. And not only that, but on one play where he gets sacked, Hyde, who is a safety for the Bills, looks like he's going to blitz. Tua is reading the defense. They showed that they're going to blitz more. Some of them back off. Tua correctly calls who is going to blitz, and it's Hyde. I have the picture right here. He is pointing.
Share it. Share it.
How do I share my screen on here?
It should be down there.
Share. Yeah. Share screen. Okay. Don't show me this again. Share screen. Share. Okay. All right. So see this right here.
Pointing it out.
He is pointing it out. Do you want to know what happens on the very next play?
Number 73 just lets him go.
Let me back out of this real quick. And you can see it.
Untouched.
Absolutely untouched.
Now
he calls the correct blitz. He calls the correct coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And goes in completely untouched.
Well, yeah, he knew who the blitzing backer was. He knew who the blitzer was. Tua showing a lot of quarterback awareness, knowing where the pressure is coming from. That's just the offensive line. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jesse Davis was on the sideline, like visibly upset, potentially in tears after Tua gets carted off. You should be, dude. You're getting paid an ungodly amount of money to do one job for one job.
Right.
And you not only did you blow it, you blew it so bad that another man got hurt.
You blew it.
It is absolutely insane. I know Trey rightfully makes fun of the Eichenberg pick, but he's like one of the best offensive linemen we have. Either way, dude, this offensive line, it is historically bad.
Man,
People
the
line is regressing. The line is regressing. It's horrific. I've never seen this before.
Now,
in an offensive line.
Do you remember when I said that it's got to be upsetting for Tua to hear all these trade rumors with him and Deshaun Watson? He's got to be like, yes, please trade me. Please. Dude. Let Deshaun get his ass kicked back here.
Oh, I think Tua would be doing better in Houston right now. Just from the sole fact that team, I don't know what their pass block rating is, but it's not 32nd. Dude, I don't even think it's 31st. I think it's the New York Jets. Dude, because I couldn't.
Tyrod Taylor's been doing amazing so far this
year. Yeah, he's hurt now though.
Yeah, and that's horrible. You got to feel bad for Tyrod Taylor because that guy he works his ass off constantly. He's brought into the Bills to be their savior. They don't put crap around him. So then they go and they draft Josh Allen, and then all of a sudden, hey, let's actually put a team around this guy. Now we don't need you. So then what happens? He goes to San Diego, now Los Angeles. And
they stab him in his lungs.
So Justin Herbert can take over. So now the man goes to Houston, and now he gets hurt.
I know. It is an unfortunate career for Tyrod Taylor, who was balling the first 2 weeks and had them in a game against a team that a lot of people think is going to win the AFC North.
Settle down.
I said a lot of people. I didn't say everybody. People have the Browns taking the division.
They do, because the Browns have the best team on paper.
And that's what I'm saying. Tyrod Taylor kept them in that game. Houston was going toe to toe with, again, what is probably the favorite to a lot of people's choice, and
on paper,
and betting wise, one of the favorites to win that division.
Yeah, on paper, they are the number 3 team in the AFC. Followed by, they're behind the Chiefs and the Bills. But the Browns are not getting past either one of those teams. I'm sorry. And
the way that Flores was talking today when it was announced, when the news came out earlier that Tua was going to be, he's scratched, he's out for their week 3 matchup against the Raiders. So the Raiders are probably going to start 3-0 because Jacoby Brissett is going to be QB.
Poor Jacoby.
And
I bet he wishes he would have stayed in New England.
For real. Being back up in New England would have been so much better. He at least maybe would have had a chance to try and start before Mac Jones rolled into town.
If I were Ben Roethlisberger right now, I would wish that I was a backup in New England, because
Absolutely.
at least when Tua got hit, his offensive line acted like they gave a damn.
Yeah.
When Ben got drilled, no one helped him up. And Trey Essex, who was a former offensive lineman for the Steelers, was flipping out over Twitter.
Yeah,
I mean, he was pissed. Yeah, when you're an offensive lineman and your quarterback gets dirty, it's up to you to pick him up.
And then I saw people on Twitter talking about how, Miami should trade for Deshaun Watson. That'll fix everything. It absolutely will not. And people are like, Houston had a terrible offensive line and he found a way to make it work. Watson did. And it's like, not really. He's been to the playoffs how many times? How much success has Watson had? Collectively? And then last season,
I don't think he sniffed the playoffs.
I want to say he's been once, maybe. I want to say that. He's been once, I think. I could completely be wrong. It could be my really tired, fried brain not remembering it correctly. But I want to say he's been at least once. But either way, Washington
24-0 on KC and lost that game.
Wow.
Gotcha.
But no quarterback fixes this scenario. Okay. And I said it in the Slack too. 2 offensive linemen go down for Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes is running for his life back there. He ran for 400 or 500 yards, like back and forth in circles and around, because the man was running for dear life.
Oh, wow. He's been in 3 playoff games.
Okay. See, there you go.
3 playoff games for Deshaun Aloysius Watson. Good for him.
But I mean, still though, it just
Trey's got a memory longer than most people's pants.
He still remembers even when the elephants forget. Elephants never forget. There's a time where an elephant's gonna forget. Trey holds on. He keeps the receipts, and he keeps them I honestly think he's got like another room somewhere, and just anything negative about his takes or him in general is just on the wall. When he's like, I'm going to the gym, I think like 1 hour of it is mental gymnastics, where he sits in that room and he just stares at the wall.
You know what? Trey's wall of wronged, it looks like when Charlie on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he's trying to like figure out the conspiracy theory. That's Trey's wall.
And that's a fact.
And you know what? The NFL this year, I mean, we're going to talk about the other teams and we're going to go over the live scores and blah, blah, blah. But even with the Steelers, with the offense right now, and then the defense, number one, I want to know what's going on with their training staff, that you have Joe Hayden and Devin Bush out with groin injuries. Then you get TJ Watt out with a groin injury. I mean, oh my goodness. That doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me. I mean, this NFL season right now, I've gone past the excitement of the NFL season, and now I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because you got injuries galore. The only real constant right now is Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. That's it. Everything else is weird. How do you get Jameis Winston going off week 1 with 5 touchdowns, and then the next week he looks beyond pedestrian? And oh my God, the Raiders are 2-0. And you know what?
They're about to be 3-0, dude. I have no faith in my team. I'm about ready to press the panic button right now. I think, like, listen, I'm gonna ask everyone this, if this is okay, because my team can't get their act together. They thought that they could get by with a subpar offensive line, and they are getting their lunch meat ate. Their lunch money taken, all their food is eaten in front of them, and then they're making out with their girl right in front of them too, and they have to sit there getting cucked. Okay, that's what's going on with this Miami team right now. Is anyone like gonna bash me for rooting for Carolina? Because I was on the Sam Darnold train, that he was a good quarterback even when he was in New York, and people were saying how awful he was, and he's been balling the past 2 weeks, and Carolina looks great.
Speaking
So
of Sam,
I just may become a Panthers fan for the year.
wow. Zach, what's that kid's name? Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
The Darnold haters are really quiet,
the
Trey.
Darnold haters are beyond
We can
quiet.
stand up
I
on our
can
hill
hear the crickets. I can hear the crickets.
and scream it from the rooftops that Sam Darnold is a good quarterback.
I seriously
The problem was New York.
I seriously wish the Steelers would have picked him up. I really do. Remember last year I said either Darnold or Dwayne Haskins. Well, they got Dwayne Haskins, and now I'm wishing it would have been Sam Darnold. Now, you remember last week when we talked Symbol and my Sim Jet stock? My Sim Jets were worth $42 a share.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're only worth $38 now. That loss last week was so ugly.
Yeah, 4 interceptions for Wilson.
4 interceptions.
That's gross.
That's terrible. But you know what? What do you want to do first? Do you want to talk? Do you want to go through the notes first, or do you want to talk about the scores first? Because Tom Brady said something that
we can talk about what Tom Brady says.
And you know what? And Tom Brady said this a couple of weeks ago. Before the season started, Tom Brady said this. And it's so relevant that it is big news even here we are like a month later. So Tom Brady was interviewed by NFL.com. And he's basically was saying how penalties on the defense have allowed the offense to get away with screwing around. All right. And basically what he's saying is that, and he's being quoted, I'd say the game is a little softer than it used to be. I think the defensive players are more on the defensive when they go to tackle. And I think that's probably adding to this element of quarterbacks outside the pocket and taking more chances, than they did in the past. And that's true. There was a point in time where a quarterback was very careful with running. Michael
because they were free. They were free game when they were running.
Right. Now, Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham are obviously exceptions to the rule because they had that amazing speed and the agility to keep from getting killed. But quarterbacks like Brady, if Brady would have played in the 80s and 90s, matter of fact, we even saw it in his career in the early 2000s, up until he got his knee rolled by Kimo von Oelhoffen. Freaking, they didn't do a lot of running because they knew they were going to get destroyed.
Yeah. And I was going to bring this up. It's pretty ironic that Brady is saying this because Brady is the whole reason why you cannot tackle a quarterback below the knees. Even if it's accidental, if you get pushed into them and you dive at the quarterback and you hit him below the knee, it's an instant roughing the passer. You're getting flagged. Yeah. And it's all because of Brady's injury. So I thought it was pretty ironic that Brady was the one that said
rule made for your benefit. Now you're complaining about
and you're like, it's making the league soft.
Well, then you know what? When your knee got rolled by Kimo von Oelhoffen, dude, you were all about those protections. You were all about it. So what's changed? Yep, Kimo von Oelhoffen.
That man killed Carson Palmer.
And it was similar. It was similar to what happened to Tom Brady.
Man has done some damage in his life.
Yeah, but because here's the thing: he was an unsung defensive lineman. He would start beating the offensive lineman. The offensive lineman would trip him up or get him from behind. He's going for the quarterback. What happens? He falls into the knee.
Yeah,
it's not like he's purposely trying to drill a person's knee. But he's not wrong. But then you also get certain quarterbacks that are protected where others aren't. Case in point, Cam Newton has never gotten protected. How did I kill the punctuation? How did I kill the
pronunciation?
What? Oh, for Kimo von Oelhoffen? Oh, because he played for the Steelers. So I heard his name.
Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Yep. Oelhoffen.
And you know what? He's not German like you would think. Kimo is actually he's Hawaiian or something.
Oh, Hawaiian. That sounds like a very German name.
It does, doesn't it? But no, the thing is, Cam Newton was never protected by those quarterbacking rules. Not ever. God, Cam Newton he lost at least 3 or 4 years of his career taking the hits that he's taken.
And I think that definitely has something to do with the fact, one, he's an extremely massive human being that sliding was not in his vocabulary or his repertoire. Like he was not the type of guy that was going to double tap square or X to slide. You know, he was not doing that. He's like he's pushing the stick up and he's like, I'm gonna truck this fool and get in the end zone.
Right.
But I mean, when you do that, and then how cocky he was, that really rubbed people the wrong way, which I'm all about. If you don't want him to celebrate like that, don't let him in the end zone. It's a pretty simple solution. I think that probably did rub people a little bit the wrong way.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger never got protected by the referees either. Ben Roethlisberger would get drilled.
Yeah, and
nothing would happen. Case in point, look at the hit he took over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No call.
Yeah, I think it's because, they're big. They can take it.
Tom Brady ain't little. Tom Brady ain't little. Peyton Manning wasn't little. Peyton Manning was built like a freaking brick crap house. And he got protected like mad.
I guess maybe Ben's not as liked as them in NFL circles. I don't know.
Most likely not. So speaking of the
it's because he's a Steeler. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Apparently the Buccaneers have reached out to free agent cornerback Richard Sherman. I'm surprised more people have been reaching out to this guy. I mean, God, Richard Sherman is still an amazing defensive player. It's crazy to me that he's not on a team anymore. I think it's his age and his brashness I think are working against him.
Yeah, his prime is definitely past, but I mean, he's knowledgeable. Stream died again. That's horse crap. It's still up for me. I don't believe Trey. I'm gonna keep watching it on my phone here.
Now we're frozen. We're frozen on the stream.
Are we frozen? Are you serious, bro? Rubbish.
Yo, I'm about to have a Donnybrook.
It says it's back. It didn't skip for me. It just got really pixelated all of a sudden, and then it just kept going on. Like it didn't stop. He's a wife beater. Oh gosh.
You know what? I'm about to have a Donnybrook with Twitch. We're about to have a Donnybrook, bud. And so, I mean, yeah, Richard Sherman has had a lot of the he's had some stuff come out in the light, but I mean, look. At the same token, I believe he's kind of been exonerated. So if he's not, I don't know the whole story of what's going on with that. Honestly, I kind of stayed away from it, but I get it. But I mean, hey, listen.
And I mean, the NFL has shown that, I mean, they don't care. Look how many other wife and women beaters,
who's
domestic abusers.
Who's the freak show that was with the Cowboys that ended up going to fight MMA? Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
Dude, Greg Hardy. Did he pull a gun on his girlfriend?
I cannot remember.
It was either him or that cat that played for the Niners.
I just know that, like, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon, those are women beaters. The only person that ever got, like, I guess
Rice.
they're just desserts for what they did was Ray Rice, and it's only because there was video evidence, and my God, was that. Oh,
Watson's most likely going to get off scot-free. Dude, that Ray Rice, though, I mean, I still have nightmares about that.
That was, ooh.
Yeah, Hardy threw his girlfriend on a bed of guns.
Golly. Kareem Hunt is another one, yeah.
I mean, you even look at, what's that guy's name? He was he was running back for the Vikings and then finished out his career with the Washington.
Oh, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he beat
Adrian Peterson whooped the hell out of his kid.
Beat the crap out of his kid.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not anti-corporal punishment, but I'm anti-abuse. And
I'm also not saying that people don't get a second chance, but it's like the punishments that they got, you're like, really? 6 games for putting a woman in the hospital?
Dude, Ray Rice is the only dude that really lost his career over
it's because there was video evidence. That's
and the fact that we saw him reach back like he was freaking Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa her off of a wall. Damn, dude. Like, ugh. I don't even want to know what Ray Rice is doing now. I hope he's getting his ass beat by somebody. I hope that Ray Rice entered into like an underground fight club and gets his ass beat every week. Like, I hope Tyler Durden is just beating the hell out of him. And someone goes, what the hell? What got into you? And he goes,
and then, you know, it's like,
beautiful.
And again, you know, I'm all for second chances. Look how Michael Vick has turned his life around after going to prison for the dogfighting scandal. He came back, had a couple successful careers in the NFL, and then now he's an analyst for Fox, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? People haven't forgotten about him. People will forgive you if you do something against another human being.
Oh, I forgot
but
about
you
that.
hurt a dog, and they hate you forever.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember a bunch of people here in Pittsburgh, as soon as they found out that Michael Vick was signed as a backup, I'm never watching the Steelers again because he beat dogs.
Well,
okay. Settle.
And to be technical, he didn't beat
Francis.
dogs. He just made them fight each other for money. For money. I'm not making it sound any better. I know that. And that's effed up. That's messed up.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is he's a butthole. What's inside your butthole? Tyreek Hill, because he's a piece of poop. All right, we got to take our first break here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show on a special night, special time, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be back on Tuesday, 6 p.m. streaming live on 6:30 p.m. streaming live on Twitch TV. But right now, we're going to take our first break. We'll be back. We're going to talk. We already talked a little bit about TJ Watt. We're going to talk a little bit about Justin Fields, who's going to be getting his first NFL career start a lot sooner than we thought he would. But we also said Andy Dalton gets hurt. He's probably not getting that starting job back. But we're going to talk about that and more when we come back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show, broadcasting live on Twitch TV, a part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network. We'll be back.
The following is brought to you in partnership by Symbol. Symbol is a new sports marketplace where you can trade shares of professional teams like stocks. You love sports. You interested in fantasy sports without the weekly annoyance of fantasy league upkeep? Then Symbol's the app for you. With Symbol, fantasy sports is going to a whole other level. How it works is simple. You buy Symbol shares for your favorite sim teams on the app. When your sim team wins, you get automatic cash deposits, and you don't lose any money when they lose. That's it. So if you follow trends across football, basketball, and baseball, and you think your team is a sleeper, simply invest in your favorite sim teams on Symbol and watch your virtual portfolio prove you right or wrong. And if you want to get in on the action right away, Vendetta Sports Media's got you covered. Go to symbol.app/Vendetta and use our exclusive promo code Vendetta, and you'll get a $10 bonus when making your first deposit. Symbol, taking fantasy sports to a whole other level.
Man, I wish Zach Wilson would get better so my sim jet stock would improve. Because damn.
Like, hey, I got some Sim Cardinals stock and it's flying up because Kyler Murray is playing like an MVP.
Well, Kyler Murray is an MVP. Dude, Kyler Murray is an animal. He is so quick. His middle name should be Cheetah. Kyler the Cheetah Murray.
Yeah, but see, that nickname already belongs to a man that we discussed who beats pregnant women. So
all right, so fine. He should be called Fast Kyler Murray.
Really? Kyler Fast and Large Cat Murray.
Yeah. And Trey's right. Patrick Mahomes would suck.
Patrick Mahomes would have failed.
He would be an absolute failure. He would be a colossal failure in New York.
100%. 100%.
Tom Brady wouldn't make it in New York. He just wouldn't. All right, so apparently it's been said that there is a chance that TJ Watt will play this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's being said that with him stepping out of that game, he possibly avoided major injury. Honestly, yeah, Bill Belichick did not make it with the Jets. He ain't making it with the Browns either.
Chad, that would be really interesting if we could get 22 and some subs for injuries, at least like 35 members of Vendetta to go scrimmage against the Jets. We could keep it close, I think.
Now, Now, now you told me in the Slack that I should play on the offensive line for.
Dude, listen, man. Like, I think
Dolphins.
literally, if we got the biggest people that knew what they were doing from Vendetta and slapped them in front of Jacoby Brissett this Sunday, you literally could not do a worse job than what this offensive line has already done.
Bro, I'm only 220.
It doesn't matter. You would still do a better job. You'd still do a better job.
I'm sure my feet would be a lot quicker. That's for sure. I mean, you know what, though? Fine.
You would give Jacoby Brissett at least an extra half a second. You know what Tua had to throw in the Bills game? He had 1.8 seconds to throw.
Damn.
1.8 seconds to go through your reads. It's impossible to, like, I get it. Like, quarterbacks need to do that, but they need like at least 3 seconds to scan what's happening, get rid of it.
Well, yeah, Ben Roethlisberger gets rid of the ball within 2.5 seconds. He's got the fastest release in football right now because he has to.
And everyone complains about, Tua, he doesn't go through his progressions. He hits the first option. He ain't got time. He can only look at one guy, and then he's just like, I got to try to get it to him. I got no other option.
I think if Kevin Colbert really hated Ben Roethlisberger, he would offer a trade to the Dolphins. Oh my goodness! So Justin Fields says,
I'll trade you offensive lines. I'll do that yesterday.
Yeah, no thanks. Justin Fields says, "quote I know I'm meant for this." He said this after Sunday's game against the Bengals. "I'm meant to be here. My path here has been crazy. When I was younger, I never thought I would be here in this position. I'm here for a reason." Quote, I'm still quoting here. "I'm trying to keep all the outside distractions out of the way and focus on Sunday and prepare the best I can," Fields said. "Think I'm ready. I've been preparing for this moment for a long time. My mindset doesn't change. I'm still going to have to play my football and just prepare the best I can." So Justin Fields is making it seem like he's ready to do something.
Yeah, I mean, he did not have a great game against the Bengals when he stepped in. In fact, he almost blew it. He really almost blew it, and he really couldn't move the ball that well. The thing that really won them the game was Joe Burrow also did not have a great game. Again, quarterbacks that are not talked about when they have bad games. Only Tua, though. Only Tua is talked about. Every single sophomore and rookie year quarterback could lose on a Sunday, and they're just going to go with the narrative, Tua's ass trade for Watson. That's the narrative. I know I keep going on that. My God, I'm sick of it. And guess what? I have to sit through it for another week because he's not going to be there. And God forbid what I want happens, and Miami wins the game, and they're like, they should just play Jacoby Brissett over Tua. Now, get out of here, people.
Well,
gosh,
Justin Fields is a very, very tall order. He's going to be
make me want to hit the reset button on the human race. My gosh.
Wow. Welcome. Wow. You realize, well, I've been wanting to do that since I was 12, but yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so Justin Fields is going to have a pretty tall order though, going up against that Cleveland Browns defense. That's for sure.
And I mean, I think Fields is a better quarterback than Andy Dalton, even as a rookie, I think. But Fields, he's going to have growing pains. He's a rookie.
Poor Red Rocket. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at our upcoming games. This Panthers-Texans game is actually it's going to be a very, very interesting game to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, I think the Panthers are playing amazing. I don't know too much about the Panthers team as a whole, specifically their defense. I know their offense okay. Their defense not so much, but their defense is playing really good.
No, I mean, I'll tell you the truth. The thing is that their defense is keeping them in, and Sam Darnold, all he has to do is be a game manager. And as he starts to get more comfortable in that offense,
it's not that they're mean to Tua, Chad. It's because they're idiots, and I'm tired of idiots. I'm tired of. There is a 12-year-old today on TikTok talking about the Jets blocking scheme and how terrible the Jets are, and he was more coherent than grown-ass men on Twitter. Okay.
Well, because
he's more intelligent than Colin Cowherd half the time.
Well, your biggest mistake is number one, being on Twitter. Like, you realize I have a troll on Twitter when I'm doing my
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, there's that troll who's trying to say, "Oh, you're a clown because a coach defended his player for spitting on a guy." Coaches are supposed to defend their players. They do that. Not to mention the fact that You know what? Why am I even giving this idiot any sort of?
Yeah,
you know
don't
what
worry
though?
about that.
Well, see, the thing is, what makes me mad about him is that he's an idiot ass Baltimore Ravens fan. Like he probably watched Trey's freaking head coach stream and was like rubbing one out.
Let me ask you this: how confident are we that we don't know that this is Trey?
Oh, it's probably a
Trey's
Trey
burner
account.
This is Trey's burner account.
It probably is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found Trey Daubert's burner account.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna hopscotch for a second. Can we talk about the lowest point of this Sunday's slate of games when the 0-2 Falcons faces the equally stinks 0-2 Giants?
It's tough, man. Danny Dimes just ain't it.
Danny Dimes.
Giants are on Spencer Rattler watch, but even Spencer Rattler hasn't been that great. I don't know about this draft class. That's all I'm saying. This draft class is pretty
this upcoming
interesting.
draft
I'm going to leave it up to like the draft experts. So when Trey, I've been reading Trey's weekly analysis, and then of course, whenever he starts doing player profiles as we get through the college football season and we get into past the fall and into the new year and we're getting ready for the draft. But I don't know, man. I don't think it's that great of a draft, and it's definitely a year that you may not want to have a top pick and you spend it on a quarterback, because then you're kind of stuck. You got to commit,
Yeah,
or not. You could be like it worked out for the Cardinals. They drafted Josh Rosen at like 11, and then the very next year took Kyler Murray. It worked out for them. So
yeah. I'll tell you the truth. The one game that I'm especially keeping my eye on is the Jaguars-Cardinals game. Kyler Murray's going to ball out, and Trevor Lawrence is just going to get made like – poor Trevor Lawrence. You want to talk about a guy being – like the only dude that's in a worse situation than Trevor Lawrence is Zach Wilson. And Urban Meyer is going to be out of there by the end of the season anyway.
he's probably going to USC.
Oh, yeah.
If
it's not him, it's Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, and I know that Urban Meyer said, I'm not thinking about that. I'm committed to the NFL. Well,
Yeah, right.
Guess who also said that?
Mm-hmm. Nick Saban. You know what? This is what I'm gonna call. Are you ready for my prediction right here, right now?
Nothing but pain, man. Nothing but pain.
Urban Meyer is gonna leave and go to USC. Eric Bieniemy is gonna end up being the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Like, Urban Meyer and USC just almost makes too much sense. It makes so much more sense than even him going to Ohio State after he left Florida and took some time off.
Well, you don't think Eric Bieniemy going to USC would be a big deal? Because he's a SoCal guy.
I think it would, but not as big of a deal as Urban Meyer, because we're talking about a dude that everywhere he's gone, he's competed, and then the last 2 trips he's won national championships and have produced some of the greatest college to pro athletes.
Well, you know what? If you guys especially want to get in on the if you really want to make your Sunday interesting, hell, if you want to make your tomorrow interesting, make sure you go to monkeyknifefight.com. Go to monkeyknifefight.com, and if you use our promo code Vendetta, they will match you up to $100 in your first deposit. Bet on tomorrow's game. Seriously, like right now, Jefferson legal, Panthers, Texans. It's going to be a good game, but I'm picking the Panthers to win that.
I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking the Panthers on the over. I'm taking the money line. Everything. Panthers, everything.
Even though they're only 2-9 all time on Thursday night games.
Yes, because it is a new regime, baby. New regime. They got a new gunslinger and Sam Darnold in there. They got
should his name be Darno? His name should be Darno, not Darnold.
Darno. Samuel
Darno.
I was about to say Samuel Darno.
Yeah, make him a classy one.
I've not seen Davis Mills.
I don't even know who that is.
Where did he go to college? Was he Stanford?
Is that
was he Stanford? I don't think it was Stanford.
Is that the son of General Mills? Is he the heir to the cereal tycoon? No.
Wow. Go to quarterback.
I'm the only one that got that joke.
No, I mean I got it. I was just looking up Stanford.
Stanford.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. Stanford.
Mm.
You don't want to.
Don't want to. Now, of the games now we're going to go over these games in a bit. Which game is standing out to you for week 3? Which one is really standing out to you?
Standing out for me.
I mean, we know your Dolphins are going to get shellacked.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
that is a game I would 100% take the Raiders on the money line. It's -4 for Vegas. Miami's not keeping it within 4.
So -4. That means that Miami has
that means to cover. If you were to bet against the spread, Miami would have to basically lose. They'd have to lose by like 3.5 points or less.
Gotcha.
Trey says St.
Trey's
Patriots.
watching the Saints and Patriots.
That's going to be interesting.
A good game. I want to see how Mac Dad Body Jones does against a stingy ass Saints.
Yeah,
defense. That Saints defense is not a joke. They haven't been a joke, man. They're tough.
Obviously, I think I'm super high on the Rams, so I think Rams-Bucks. I think Rams-Bucks may be a preview of the NFC title game, if I'm being completely honest. I think Rams and Bucks are. I don't know exactly what order it's going to be, but I think they're 1 and 2, and then I think they see each other again in the NFC title game because I don't really have confidence right now in the Packers. Maybe that changes. I mean, we still have 16 weeks left until we get to the final week, and then we get eventually into the playoffs. But that's the game I'm looking forward to the most because I want to see because Tom Brady is playing at an insane level right now. Like
he's gonna play until his 50s, man.
I know it's insane.
He's saying that joking around, but I think he's serious.
He's gonna mess around and play until his 50s, and that's just absolutely stupid. But because there's dudes that are in their rookie seasons or second year in the league and they weren't even born when Brady was starting in his rookie season. That does not make any sense whatsoever. I already started to feel kind of old today because I remember watching Asante Samuel play, and Asante Samuel Jr. is in the league now. So I'm like, oh no, it's starting to happen.
How do you think I feel? Okay,
I know how you feel.
Ben Roethlisberger is 3 years younger than me.
Yeah, okay. Like no, I get it, but you've been there. You've come to terms with that. I'm not supposed to. At 26, fresh 26 years old, I shouldn't be having that feeling, but I'm having that feeling now.
Yeah, I realized once I hit my 30s and I started seeing like guys that were like 10 years younger than me in the NFL, and it's like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
This is how it begins.
I started feeling that when I was like a senior in college, and there were dudes 18, 19 years old getting drafted into the NBA.
Yeah. You know what, though? This week isn't – I mean, granted, if we're going by –
See, that's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. If we're going by win-loss records – now, granted, we're only going into week 3. But when we're looking at some of these teams, like this Colts-Titans game,
it's got implications for the division.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it's not a very good division. But if Carson Wentz can start figuring it out – if they could just score on the goal line, like they got dealt a really bad hand to start the season because Seattle was week 1 and then the Rams were week 2. Yeah.
Like that's tough. That's a tall order for a new quarterback who's dealt with injuries, coming off injuries last season.
And Wentz probably ain't even going to play.
I totally forgot about that. Wentz might not even play because he has 2 ankle sprains. He has sprained both of his ankles. One's a high ankle sprain and one's a low ankle sprain. How do you sprain both ankles? How does Wentz keep having these odd injuries?
Maybe if he and most of the Steelers defense did DDP yoga, stretch and strengthen, not just their ligaments, but their
self-plug.
Yeah. Now, this Chiefs-Chargers game, this is going to be a real...
Need some better shoes. Put some tape on the ankles.
It's got to be the shoes.
He's got to start wearing high tops. No more low top cleats. Got to wear the high tops for the stability.
Those high top black cleats like Johnny Unitas.
Yeah, that's why John Morant only wears Kobe's. Kobe's are high topped because Kobe wanted the high tops because he had some ankle issues.
Yep. Now this Chiefs-Chargers game is actually going to be. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I think that the Chargers are a little bit better than people are giving them credit for.
Well, they're better because Anthony Lynn is not their coach anymore. They instantly got better. Now, Herbert, he's been all right, but again, you don't hear about that because everyone's like, "Oh, Miami should have drafted Herbert over Tua." Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it.
Man, I love hearing Jackson Law get deeper and deeper into the dark side. You know who you're starting to remind me of? You're starting to remind me of Butters from South Park. You're just going to turn into like sportscaster chaos and just like start doing like weird stuff to people. Like you're just going to go over to someone's house who you know is a Tua hater and just turn on his outside water spigot and just go, now your water bill's going to be high.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a pretty fucked up thing to do.
That really is. As an adult now, that really has to pay attention to the water that I use.
As I'm paying the water bill, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh.
My first month in the house, my water bill was $200. I'm like, oh, someone's gonna have to start timing. We're gonna have to start speed timing our showers.
I'm a download the PDF of your whatever the commit. What are they called? Where it's the that's like you live in a subdivision and there's like all these rules you have to follow.
Yep. Yeah, $200. But then I realized my son would turn on the water and let it run and would be sitting on his tablet.
Can't do that.
Then he'd take like a 15-20 minute shower. I'm like, boy, you realize if we lived on the West Coast, you would get me arrested?
But anyway, whatever those calls, it's like homeowners associations, HOAs. That's what it's called. I'm gonna download your HOA PDF and I'm gonna slowly break the most minuscule rules to get you fined.
If I lived someplace, if I were to move out of this house and the only place that I could get had an HOA, I would seriously just rent an apartment. Because I hate HOAs. You are not gonna tell me what I can and can't do with my house. If I bought the house, if I'm paying the mortgage, if I'm paying the insurance, you are not going to tell me what I can. Yeah, they do hate kids. And you know what? They can all kiss my ass. HOAs. And all that is, especially if you're a person of color, that just gives the Kens and the Karens another reason to try to mess with you. And you know what I would do if I did live somewhere?
What are you doing in this neighborhood?
You know what? If I lived in an HOA, right now, I have a staff. I have a bow staff in my living room. So if someone tries to come into my front door, I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to start going to town. If I lived in an HOA, I would seriously have a machete as if I were hunting vampires on Supernatural. And I would just say, if you want your head on your shoulders, get away from my house. Well, I'm president of the HOA. You about to be the headless head of the HOA. Kiss my ass. Now this is how Bryan Tann's villain origin story.
You about to be the former head of president of the HOA.
Seriously. Man. And I bet you, I don't know exactly what Courtney's sister said. F you. She was like, let me answer your what you want with song. I see you driving round town with the girl I love. I'm like, yeah, you about to be the president of Catch These Hands, you. For real. So yeah, but this week of the NFL, honestly, I'm not
after that tangent.
Thank you very, very much, Trav.
That song stinks, according to Trey. Stinks.
But I pull it off. So let's take a quick shift into the NBA before we go on our break. JJ Redick announced his retirement today. And what a career, man. What a career JJ Redick has had.
Yeah, he's had an extremely long career. He's definitely one of the best like catch and shoot 3-point shooters of the era. But I mean, I kind of figured that this was happening. I feel like he kind of sold the last couple of years because he started his podcast and like it's actually been successful on YouTube. He's kind of the Pat McAfee of the NBA, that he's just there, and then now he's going to do his podcast, and that's his post-career thing. What
Yep.
happened to baseball talk? What happened to hockey
Well,
talk?
actually, I was getting ready to start talking a little bit of baseball.
Call me when the playoffs start, Trey. We'll have you on when the playoffs start.
You know what? Being that next week starts the preseason, we're going to be talking hockey next week on the Tanndemonium Sports Show on Tuesday. We're going to be talking some hockey because the preseason starts next week. And so that means that we're going to have to get young
and to be fair,
on
football is just the superior sport. So that's obviously what we naturally gravitate towards. It's the most popular sport in the country. It's more fun to watch. Now,
Yeah,
I do appreciate baseball. I do appreciate baseball. I drove by every time I have to go to Civilization, basically from out of the boonies where I live to Civilization. There's some really nice ballparks, and every time or community ballparks, every time I drive by there, I'm like, that diamond looks so beautiful. Like the dirt in the infield, it looks crisp.
Oh my God, I'm playing the hell out of MLB The Show.
I have not touched that in forever. I'm on Red Dead right now.
I think I'm in my 5th season, and I just threw a perfect game.
Nice.
With my pitcher. My pitcher is on the I'm still on the Cincinnati Reds. And as a matter of fact,
my guy's on the Stalks.
I'm going to throw this out there to you guys in the chat. And I'm actually going to put a poll on the Twitter feed too, because it's August in I think my 5th year, so I'm going to be eligible for free agency. Should I stay with the Reds or should I seek greener pastures elsewhere? Now, let me tell you, my first season that they called me up from AAA, we didn't make the playoffs. The next season, we lost in the wild card to the Mets. The next season, we beat the Phillies in the ALDS, and then we lost to the Dodgers in the ALCS. So
tough.
So now the decision is, do I stay with the Reds? I think this is my 5th year. It's either my 4th or my 5th year. But should I stay with the Reds or should I leave?
You've progressed. Go one more year. If you don't make it, then you can leave.
All right. So why don't we take a quick break?
Really quickly before break.
Yeah.
Well, one more NFL thing. Throwing it back to the Dolphins. Just saw this statistic.
Okay.
Over the past 10 seasons, the Miami Dolphins, guess how many different offensive linemen the Miami Dolphins have started over the last 10 years?
20. I'm going to say
no.
More or less?
More. A lot more.
50.
Slightly less.
48.
46.
So close.
46 different offensive linemen. And guess what? That is the most in that time span. Over the last 10 years, that is the most out of the entire NFL, a team, the most number of different offensive linemen started.
Bro, your team stinks.
Stinks. All right, now we can go to break.
All right, we're going to take our final break. This is the Bryan Tan. I'm the host of the Tanndemonium Sports Show here, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network, streaming live exclusively on Twitch Tuesday. Normally every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., but we're a day late this time. So join us every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Taking our final break. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball, and then we're going to go home. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us a day late. We'll be right back.
The following broadcast is brought to you in association by XP Coffee Company. XP Coffee Company is the fresh brewed coffee made for gamers by gamers. Get amazing flavors like Choco Loco in 8, 12, or 16-ounce bags, or level up and get Illusion, Isolation, Nightmare, or the Majestic Throne blends in light, medium, or dark roast in whole bean, coarse French press, drip, or fine espresso in 12-ounce, 16-ounce, or 2-pound bags. Wow! Shipping worldwide. If you're in the U.S., go to usa.xpcoffee.co. If you're in Europe or in the U.K., go to www.xpcoffee.co. XP Coffee Company, for gamers, by gamers.
All right, we're back for our final segment here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show here, streaming live on Twitch TV. Make sure you subscribe, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. Subscribe so you know when all of our streams are coming. Make sure you go to vendettasportsmedia.com to get all of our content. I mean, my God, we have articles coming on the daily. I wrote an article last week based on our story about Raheem Morset. And I actually enjoyed writing that article, Jefferson Legal. I had a good time.
It is fun writing. I miss it when I'm really busy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's definitely good stuff for sure. I plan on writing more. Why haven't you been writing anything on the WNBA, Courtney? I've been looking for some WNBA talk. What's going on? Oh, I got. Hold on.
Take cover, everybody. There's strays coming in.
Oh, I'm
stray
frozen.
rounds.
And I
Bryan, get down. Uh-oh.
I
Bryan.
swear, I froze just as Courtney was about to give me the business. I do plan on trying to write a few more articles. I do plan on writing some stuff. Honestly, I gotta find inspiration. I'm like Chicago. I need the inspiration. All right, let's shift gears. We're getting ready to go into the postseason. I heard an interesting statistic tonight, Jackson, about my Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
In these last 11 games of the season, they have to go 6-5 to avoid a 100-loss season.
Ooh. You think they can do it?
No, they're going to lose 100 games. They are. But let's take a look. In the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays have clinched their postseason berth. They're 7 games ahead of the Red Sox. And they've won that division. The Yankees horribly underperformed. I mean, horribly underperformed. I mean, now
that's the Yankees. I feel like that's the stereotype.
Now, right now, as it looks in the AL, when you're looking at if the season were to end today, Tampa Bay's coming out the East, the White Sox coming out the Central, Houston's coming out the West, and you've got Boston and the Yankees right now in the wild card with Toronto tied with the Yankees. So, I mean, the Yankees could still get hot. They're still going into the postseason. So now you're going to have a major league, no pun intended, playoff atmosphere to start because you're going to have the Yankees, Red Sox playing for their playoff lives. That's going to be a huge deal. And honestly, I'm probably going to start tuning back into Major League Baseball for that. I'm going to want to see that. I'll
definitely want to really watch the playoffs. To me, that's like the most exciting time. This is the most exciting time to watch baseball when it's close like this, and it's like the final, week, 2 weeks of the season, and then we're into October, and then it's the playoffs.
I mean, oh my God, the San Francisco Giants they're monstrous right now, and they're actually ahead. They're ahead of the Dodgers in the standings. So I mean, this is definitely a good time. This has been a good season, but of course, Major League Baseball does not know how to promote their product, and that's the biggest issue.
No, they should be promoting the crap out of the fact that Boston is up 2 games over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays and Yanks are tied going down to the final stretch for the final wild card spot. But then you also have the Mariners and the A's that are each 2.5 games behind the tied Yankees and Jays. So Yankees go on a terrible streak and continue to fall apart, then the Mariners or Athletics have an opportunity to get into the wild card.
And that's crazy. And I mean, and honestly, you look at it right now, Cincinnati and the Dodgers. I mean, not Cincinnati, St. Louis and LA for the National League. You said
I meant Toronto.
You meant Toronto.
I meant Toronto. Yeah. I don't know what I said, but I meant Toronto.
And you look at the National League side of things. St. Louis and LA are in the wild card. Now, St. Louis is always in the
St.
playoff
Louis gang,
picture.
rise up.
So, I mean, St. Louis.
They always have odd teams too. I feel like their teams are never like world beaters, but yet somehow they always
get it done.
They put something together at the end of the season, and it never makes any sense to me. But you know what? I never question it because guess what? They have 2 World Series in my lifetime. So
Well,
I'm gonna take my dubs.
And here's the thing. The wild card games are going to be huge. And I mean, these wild card games are going to be massive. If the season were to end today, you're going to have a Dodgers Cardinals wild card, which that is marquee right there. And then you've got
it's 2 historic franchises.
Right. And then on the other side, in the other league, you've got another 2 amazing historic franchises in New York and Boston.
Jay Beller is on crack.
Why in the hell isn't Major League Baseball able to promote their product?
Because they stink.
Absolutely. And it's really
Commissioner stinks.
What they need to do is either get me or Trey Daubert as the new commissioner of baseball.
Trey, can you be the new GM of Miami when they fire Greer, please? Like they need to get him out of there and get someone else in there.
At least the Pirates got Ben Cherington, and he's making the slow moves, but the moves that are getting done. So thank God for him.
I was telling my wife today, whenever like we're a bit more financially stable.
Don't touch me, I have a headache.
No. But I want to do more traveling, and I want to go to a lot of parks. And an East Coast sports trip has got to be like number one. Like this time of year where I can get like NFL and MLB stadiums like all up and down the East Coast, I have to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, if you get a chance, man, you got to go to PNC Park because PNC Park is amazing. For such a crappy team. Now, only thing that bothers me though, now don't get me wrong when I say what I'm about to say. I appreciate the fact that I was able to get tickets and see the games that I did get to see. But every time I've gone to the Pirates games for the last 3 years, the last 3 years that I've gone, they've always been playing the Brewers. It's like, man, why can't I get here when the Mets are in town? Why can't I get here when the Dodgers are in town?
It's always the Brewers.
It's always the Brewers. But even
sucks.
the Brewers, man, 91 wins this season for the Brewers, man. Good for them.
Yeah, they're gonna take the NL Central.
I love the fact that the Brewers are among the smallest of small market teams, and they still find a way to get the job done, and they make it work. And they don't have any the only name that really stands out to me with the Brewers is Christian Yelich. That's it.
They have Colton Wong, former St. Louis Cardinal. Colton Wong.
Colton Wong.
Yeah.
I wonder if. Do you think that Colton Wong could have played Wong in the MCU if he wanted to?
No, only Wong could play Wong.
I agree. I was just testing you.
Perfect Wong.
I went to go see Shang-Chi on Saturday. And it almost seems like they're trying to do something different with the MCU formula. Honestly,
Corbin
Burns. The CGI wasn't. The CGI could have been better, but it's almost like they're trying to change how they do the jokes and everything. Like they still had some of the old MCU jokes in there, but they were trying some new stuff.
And honestly, and I know this is a sports show, but we're fixing to wrap up soon anyway. But personally, I'm not a huge Aquafina fan. The water or the comedian. And then also this is not to degrade it anyway, but when I was watching the third act,
I thought she was. I think she's cute. I mean,
she's
got an. I mean, her voice sounds like that. She's got a.
It's her voice. It's definitely her voice. Her voice just does not do it for me.
I think she's cute, man. And those lime green pants were working for me.
And then the other thing was, it felt like Asian Wakanda at the end. The third act.
It did. It really did.
That's all I was thinking of. I'm like, they're an Asian Wakanda, and this is an Asian Black Panther.
And you know
what it feels like.
But you know what? Even the end title credits looked like Wakanda.
Yeah, and the music was fairly similar too, like the more upbeat hip hop feel.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and listen to like the entire thing on Spotify, but
how do you feel about the Rain City Bitch Pigeons? Do you think they're gonna? I mean, I'm sorry, the Seattle Kraken. Oh, what about What If? Oh, the most recent episode of What If, where what if Thor were an only child? That was a great ending.
See, I need to watch it, so don't spoil it for me. But as soon as we finish here, I've still got some pie left for my birthday. I'm gonna eat some pie, and I'm watching the Star Wars anime that just dropped.
I'm actually gonna put that on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably put that on tomorrow because see, I'm taking my wife to Massanutten, Virginia, to a resort down there for her birthday because her birthday's on Saturday. So and then we're coming back on Sunday. So I might not be retweet. I might not be able to. I'm not gonna be able to live tweet this weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Like I know that's really started to become a
When
thing.
was my birthday, Trey? I've said it. I said it recently.
Trey bust. I call him Tway. Trey bust balls about Emma Brown's birthday, but he doesn't know your birthday. The right hand.
You weren't in the
man
loop, Trey.
himself.
I said it. I said it.
Said it a few times.
I said it a few times. Just you're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have to think really hard.
You're gonna have to go back in the archives, man.
It's honestly, it shouldn't be too hard. Obviously, it was recent.
That's what she said. Ew. Oh man. So
Bazinga.
that's right. Now, what do you think? Real quick. Now I know you don't know a lot about hockey, but I'll tell you the truth, man. I'm looking forward to the Kraken this year. I'm actually going to be following the Kraken kind of close this year. I plan on it.
Release that Kraken.
That's what she said. Ew.
Go. There you go. The birthday's on and hoarding the information. See, I told you this is what he does because he tells someone happy birthday privately and then waits a couple of days and it's like, oh, I can't believe I'm the only person that told so-and-so happy birthday.
Well,
just to make everyone look like a worse human being.
Well, he didn't wish me a happy birthday, so that's not going to work.
See, there you go.
So
he just did it to Emma Brown though. So he tried to make everyone feel crappy for not saying happy birthday to Emma Brown.
Young Emma Brown. I can't wait to have Emma and young Andrew back on the show.
Yeah, we'll have to see because I think they're supposed to be doing a new hockey show. So I wonder if they'll want to double up on hockey.
Oh, they're going to be too Hollywood for us now.
They really are. I mean, like we've said, Trey has taken your friend Josh Taylor from you, and now he's taken Emma and Andrew from us.
Yeah, no, I can't even get Josh Taylor on the show for his segment. Well,
see, there you go. Can't. Too busy with the new hockey show.
Yeah.
Oh, when's... I forgot about that. Oh,
so who am I? So who am I going to get on here to talk hockey?
I guess we just have to avoid hockey.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess hockey doesn't exist in this dojo.
No, Lord knows I can't talk about it.
I mean, maybe who? Who the hell's Gavin? Who the hell's Gavin?
Gavin.
Gavin. Oh, Gavin.
Irish guy.
Oh, Gavin. Gavin the Gaviner, the Gavinator. Yeah,
the Gavining.
I guess
what?
We're gonna have the Gavining. Gavin. We're gonna have to have Gavin.
What? No. What? No.
Gotta say it twice to remember. Yeah.
What?
All right. I guess we might have to get Gavin on here. Well, I mean, we buried our beef earlier this year, so I guess we can have Gavin on here.
I mean, I'm down. Again, I don't know hockey, so if you want to talk hockey, you're gonna have to get someone else on the show.
Arizona State kid. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I've been telling. I'm gonna close with this. You know, I had probably Creed's Corner and I had a pretty good meeting with one of the newer interns today. I'm not throwing any names out there, but he definitely had. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm ready. Oh, Courtney's definitely going to be talking NBA.
Oh, I'm so excited about the NBA.
Oh, I am too.
Hey, I mean, odd expectations for Memphis this year because everyone's thinking they're going to be worse because they lost Valanciunas, but John Morant in Sports Illustrated's top 100 players, they ranked him number 25.
Wow. I'm excited to see what the Bulls are going to do. Like I'm still only reason why I follow the Bulls is because it's familiar. Because I rooted for the Bulls. I've been rooting for the Bulls since 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So I only root for the Bulls out of habit. I only pay attention to the Bulls out of habit. So I don't know who else to pay attention to. I can't make myself pay attention to the Nets because when I was a kid, the Nets were a joke franchise. I mean, I know different time. I get it. But still, the Nets were a joke franchise for me back then. So, and the
Can't
Lakers,
pay attention to the Lakers.
I'm not a LeBron fan, so it's really, really hard for me to want to focus on the Lakers. I'm not a LeBron fan. Speaking of the Bulls, I went into a Target a couple of weeks back, and they have a Target exclusive Hardwood Classics edition where it's the 1992 NBA Dream Team. So I have Jordan, Bird, and Magic. Now I just have to get David Robinson and Scottie Pippen because I'm not getting Karl Malone because Karl Malone is a horrible human being. And then I have to get the Dennis Rodman Funko. And then I think I'm probably done with.
Are we sure about that, Trey? Are we sure about that? Chicago hasn't Celtics haven't lived up to expectations the past few years.
Oh wow. I can't wait for NBA talk because then Courtney and Trey will be butting heads with each other. You know what? I really, really hope that the NBA lights a fire under me and I'll actually start writing NBA articles.
Hey, do it.
So then we can have additional Vendetta Survivor, because if Bryan Tann is outposting all of the other NBA writers, then Bryan Tann should be the
I need a
NBA
30
writer.
post day from Bryan Tann. That's what I need in my life.
Wow. I don't know if I've got that in me. I don't know. Because I actually might be going for a second master's degree after this one is done.
Nice.
Yeah, because I got to hold back having to pay back those student loans. So what's the best way to hold back student loans? Just keep staying in school.
Just keep going to school. Keep staying in debt. And
I think I'm just going to take a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and then that way, when you die, it just goes off onto your kids, and you don't have to worry about it.
That's right,
because you're dead.
I'm going to be like Ice Cube in Higher Learning, a super duper duper senior. Oh wow! You know what? I don't know how. How the hell do you have half a win? See, I hate that. So in other words, they have to have 39 or less wins to cover the spread.
Or they have to have more for that. Like the over, that's the over under. So
oh my God, that's so confusing.
So
why don't they just say they have to win 40 games?
Well, because if they win 40 games, then I forget what it's called. I think it's a push. I can't remember exactly what it is.
So pretentious. That is so pretentious.
I don't think they're a below 500 team. I think they win more than 40 games.
Oh my God!
I'd take the over on that. I could be wrong.
You know what? The only time. Oh, did I cover the over or under for my live tweeting on Sunday?
I didn't count. I was busy on Sunday. Wink, wink, nudge there, Trey.
That's true. That's true. So what I'm gonna do though, I wonder, depending on what I'm driving.
So Vegas is the end all be all. We should make all of our sporting bets and takes off of what Vegas says. Okay, noted.
Now here's the thing.
The next time you go against the spread, I'll remember that.
So here's the thing, and I'll say this. Even though I'm probably not going to be live tweeting on Sunday, depending on when we start driving back, I might be on the Discord chat. If we're doing the Discord chat.
Oh, we're 100% bringing that back. Again, there was a reason why I couldn't Sunday, Trey.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to see if I can do that. We'll see. We're probably going to be decompressing from the trip. So I'm not committing to Sunday. Sunday might just have to be one of the rare off days for sports guy Bryan.
Happens.
Yeah, it happens. We're allowed every now and again, as long as we let it be known and communicate. Oh, and by the way, I haven't had a chance to finish the That's Some Cheese from Monday. I'm actually going to finish that while I'm doing some schoolwork. I'm very, very disappointed that show didn't come out that the one show didn't come out timely. Check out That's Some Cheese to know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed when folks tell me they're going to do stuff and they don't do it. I said in the interview today, if I have to schedule a second meeting with you, I'm not going to be as pleasant as I was today. And I'm actually going to start saying that to all the interns. Matter of fact, if any interns are watching this, and y'all should be, take note. If I have to schedule a second meeting with you, me and Krieg ain't going to be nice. I'm just saying. Oh.
Hammered on Fridays.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure
Tough.
you check us out on social media. Go to vendettasportsmedia.com for all of our content. Make sure you check us out, media_vendetta on Twitter. Vendetta Sports Media on YouTube. Vendetta Sports Media on Instagram. Just search Vendetta Sports Media. You will find us. Okay? You will find the company. To follow our Twitter feed for the show, Tanndemonium VSM. Okay? Usually every Sunday I'm live tweeting the Steeler game. Not this Sunday. So my troll's going to have to find someone else to get to annoy. I'm not even going to say the guy's name, but he's a Ravens fan. So I instantly dislike him for that. But then he has some idiotic takes, and I'm pretty sure he farts in his bathtub just so he can bite the bubbles.
Punching the wall right now.
I'm not giving his name. Matter of fact, I probably, you know what?
Also, yeah, Courtney said awkward. Pause on what Trey said about Dave getting hammered on Friday. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's
pause.
Oh, here comes my wife. I'm live during a show, but my wife is coming in to talk to me about something. What is it, honey? You know what? Why don't you just come over here and get on camera? Why don't you just come over here and get on? Oh, she's telling me not to start trouble about my troll.
I remember she was getting on to you about that.
Yeah, she was on. She was on my ass week 1 for getting into it with this guy on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna go into. Let me see.
Trey, why are you asking who his troll is? We know it's you. We know it's your burner account.
Seriously,
you don't have to admit it. It's okay. You know, this time it's okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It is.
We get it, and we understand. You need a way to outlet some of that anger, and doing that against Bryan is just your outlet. And you know what? We're here for you, man. We're here for you.
What's even more hilarious about it is that Trey. You know why I think Trey is doing it? Is because I didn't take the bait to his head coach stuff. That's what it is. Because it's a 10-year-old game, and even back when the Ravens were at their best, the Steelers still were their daddy. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying to find it. And I know a big part of it is when Trey Turner got ejected. So I'm trying to find it. Here it is. No, that's not it. Why am I even looking for this? See, I did so much tweeting.
Yeah, don't give him no airtime.
No, he drinks piss.
Because again, we know it's Trey, so there's nothing to really talk about here.
You know what? If this guy really wanted to troll me, then he would follow the show.
Uh-oh. We're so close, Bryan. We're at the end. Well, that's tough.
And then it stinks. No. So anyway, Trey, you're a maniacal genius. Like, you're the Dr. Evil of Vendetta. So I'm sure you would find a way. You probably have some poor intern.
Oh, you 100% have a burner account, Trey. Don't even deny it. Don't even deny it. This is your burner account. Just
so
we know.
So with that being said, make sure you follow Jackson Law at JLaw1995. Follow Courtney. What's your Twitter, Courtney? Put it up on the screen. I know you have one. Folks are going to want to follow Courtney as well. Courtney's going to have her own following. Matter of fact, when we start getting more people on the channel, Courtney's going to have like a fan that's going to show up at every broadcast.
Yeah, she's gonna have a following. There's going to be a lot of people simping over her. I guarantee it.
At Plumber Courtney.
Okay.
So
the fraud Twitter.
All right. So with that being said, he's Jackson Law. I'm Bryan Tann. It's the Tanndemonium Sports Show, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Broadcast Network. We will see you guys next week on a regular time, regular day. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, Tuesday. We're going to be talking week 3 of the NFL. Obviously, Tua is going to be out. Is Jacoby Brissett going to survive, or is it going to look like Mutant League football and Jacoby Brissett's blood?
I don't even know who the third string is. I don't care, but God bless their souls.
I think they're probably going to find a towel boy, but he's going to run into a laundry list of problems. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And
the show ended on that.
Yeah.
Put me out of my misery.
That's the show. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week.